It seems like the combination of picture books and Christmas are perfect for creating visual concerts that last no longer than half an hour. This is a surprisingly popular subgenre of Christmas movies, ranging from How the Grinch Stole Christmas to the 1982 classic The Snowman. Originally written by Raymond Briggs, The Snowman depicts a child who builds a snowman during winter, which comes alive as he's sleeping. Then they go on whirlwind adventures and yada yada yada. Let's just get the most obvious thing out of the way, which is the animation. It's so vibrant and alive that it almost feels like a character within the story. I mean, the fact that no one has been able to replicate this animation in like the 40 years this movie has been out is almost unbelievable. Even something as simple as the boy moving in his sleep is simply mesmerizing, just because everything is constantly moving. It almost feels like there's a pencil quickly drawing a bunch of squiggly lines at all times, making it feel like the animator is in the movie. Looking into this movie's production is absolutely fascinating. The amount of care and detail that went into making every single frame of this film is unreal. And it's made even better by the fact that it has a very similar art style to the original book. Now, unlike Polar Express, I have never read the original Snowman. In fact, my only exposure to this story was watching this movie once, literally last week. Despite that though, it's so obvious how faithful this is to the original book. It's like each scene is a new page, and you can almost hear the narration even though it's mostly a silent film. Additionally, there's a distinct sense of warmness that encapsulates this movie. And while the animation is mostly to blame, the music certainly adds to it as well. This is one of the best visual concerts I've ever seen, because it's one of the best at creating emotion out of such simple scenes. Was that a rhyme? Even something like the snowman and the boy riding around town is filled with so much whimsy. You can feel the pensiveness when the boy realizes that the snowman has come to life for the first time. You can hear his pain when it melts at the end of the movie. All of these moments are captured perfectly through the use of this captivating music. I suppose the excess amount of flautists helped create a distinct tone. I just wanted an excuse to say flautist, I'm gonna be honest. Story-wise, there's not much here. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch them meet Santa and all the other snowmen at the end, and I was hooked in the beginning, but there's so much in the middle chunk that's just kind of boring. I mean, they walk around in the kitchen and play with the kitchen stuff, and they eat a bunch of fruits. Like, I get that it's supposed to be less of a movie and more of a showcase of the great animation and the great music, but it was still kind of boring. The only thing in this story that kept me moderately interested was the conceptual idea that this is just his imagination running wild. And that's pretty cool. I just don't think it's very groundbreaking. That kind of story needs to have some sort of twist to make it a little more engaging. Like maybe an alter ego where he's constantly arguing with the snowman, i.e. himself, on what to do. The first thing that comes to mind for me is the snowman being his playful side and him being his rational side as a metaphor for growing up. But there's an infinite amount of variations you could spin. Still, for a short film, it's perfectly serviceable. And even though I've raved about the animation and I still think it looks amazing, there are times where you can feel the age a bit. It's not like it completely takes me out of the movie, but the scenes where the animation chops are definitely annoying. Another little thing that bothered me with this movie was when they played a song out of nowhere. Not a good song, not a song with no lyrics, but like a real melodic song. That took me out of it. And I mean, overall, this isn't the most easy watch. I wouldn't say this is the best for like younger children or people like my sister who want to see something a little more exciting. No one sent this to my sister, by the way. I want to see if she actually watches my videos. But despite all of these small grievances I have with this short, it really nails the ending. The sun comes up and the snowman gives a somber wave goodbye as the boy realizes it's time to leave the memories in the past. It's a really cute and mature lesson for the movie to come to, and it really sells the whole package. Now, I know I've been very mean to this movie, but it's only because I really like it conceptually. If it had a bit more fun with its physical comedy and focused more on the actual theme, I could easily see this being a cult classic for me. Right now, it just isn't. There's simply a lot more focused shorts that are really entertaining, like the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the Charlie Brown Christmas. These are classics to me because they keep me fully entertained, and come to a clear message at the end of the movie. The Snowman does have a clear message, but it's buried under a lot of mediocrity that you have to get through. Still, its animation alone makes it worth it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for the movie and an 8 out of 10 on the Christmas scale. Let's get back to feature-length films next week.